Um, Thank you very much for this opportunity. I would like to greet you, me together with my colleagues, Lillian, Chisto George William, and Akakunda Bridget. We sat and dissected this case 5. And this is the content that we are going to be looking at from background to conclusion. The summary of the Timapu Okra Integrated Municipal Solid Waste Management Project is the case study that we are looking at. And this is the background to this project. First and foremost, for a long time, this is the map of the city of Delhi. For a long time, the state of Delhi in India has been struggling with waste management and the municipalities. So it is this challenge that brought them to look for a solution. And in a bid to find a lasting and efficient solution of solid waste management, the municipal incorporation of Delhi and the New Delhi Municipal Council embarked on a project to reduce the amount of municipal solid waste and being disposed in the landfill and utilizing the waste for utilizing this waste for productive purposes, such as generation of power for waste. And it mandated the Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited to structure this project and evaluate various technologies to carry out the project development activities. So the introduction, we are using PPP to look at PPP is a public-private partnership, and this refers to the procurement model where both public and the private sectors are committed to a long-term relationship, usually for many years. There are different mechanisms for government to procure and implement public infrastructures or services using resources and expertise from the public sector. When properly, this is done when it is properly and well executed, it can create social value through on-time and on-cost delivery, generating efficiency gains and offering innovation in project design, incorporation of global expertise and accessing new sources of capital. In some countries, like Uganda and any other countries, they have adopted PPs to deliver services. An example is the Timapu Okra Integrated Solid Management Project that we are going to be looking at in Delhi, as presented below. So the PP project expectation, this is what the project was looking at to expect upon completion. So by implementing the integrated complex, the land feeding requirement will drastically reduce, resulting in huge savings of MCD and NDMC and pollution betterment. 100 tons per day of green waste, this I'm talking about the dry leaves and grass, will be utilized to okra site for generating of biogas through biomethanation plant. The PPP envisaged to generate electricity to the tune of 16 megawatts, and it later grew to 20 megawatts by utilizing the RDF produce for the project activity to be sold to the local grid. The project is expected to produce 2 sellable end products from the plant, electricity and organic fertilizers, in terms of revenue potential to sell of power contribution to a major share of the expected revenue. So I would like to also call upon my friend, my colleague, to come and take it up from there. You're most welcome.
Thank you, William. I'm going to discuss, thank you.
Thank you, William. I'm called Lillian. I'm going to discuss the project structure. This waste management project was structured as a BOOT, build, own, operate, and transfer. And it was to be implemented as a build, own, operate, and transfer, and structured as with a number of parties being involved to manage the responsibilities, the risks, and the rights. These were both public and private parties. The government was in the structure. The government was charged with the responsibility of providing the land in line with the New Delhi Power Company Limited for a 25-year concession. Jindal, which was the highest bidder, was in charge of funding the project, while IL and FS were in partnership with another party in the special purpose vehicle, were in charge of providing a technology that was suitable for waste management. Also, there were some other factors like operational risks. that had to be encountered by the parties. These included the government ensuring that waste was provided for the project. And in addition to that, there were also issues such as market risks, whereby the special purpose vehicle had to ensure that the waste was converted. Purchase power for the special power purchase was on operation risks. The government was responsible for providing the required quantity of waste for the project, while when it came to market risks, the purchase of power was being made by Rajdhani Power Limited. There were also several responsibilities for parties, whereby the government had to make sure that the waste would be constantly supplied to the project. Failure to do so, then they would have to compensate the parties handling the special purpose vehicle. On the other hand, the special purpose vehicle had to ensure that it increased operational efficiency so as the project would maximize the profits. In addition to that, the special purpose vehicle would be liable to government if it failed to make the project run within the 24 hours from the time of financial close. And in addition to that, if they fail to hand over the project within the time of if the government failed to hand over the land at the time of signing of the concession agreement, then they would also have to reimburse the development costs incurred by the developer. So the procurement process for this project, and like I said earlier, it was on a boot, and then based on boot method, and the Municipal Council of Delhi had already mandated a private party to structure the project and also get different technologies, select a suitable developer. And this very private party, which is IL and F, in partnership with ANDRA, this was a technological board. They discovered a technology that had been identified by one of the institutes. So this technology is what they decided to implement in this project, which was meant to segregate waste. In addition to that, this ILFS, in partnership with ADRA, decided to form a special purpose vehicle, also known as Timapur Okla Waste Management Company. This was responsible in implementing the projects. This project underwent a long bidding process. However, it attracted a number of parties, and at the end of it, Jindal Urban Infrastructure Limited was selected as the successful bidder. And this successful bidder later acquired 100% equity from the special purpose vehicle, that is the TWMCL. The proposed technology for this project, like I had mentioned earlier, had been established by this institute in partnership with IL and FS. And this technology would segregate municipal solid waste at source, converting it into refuse-derived fuel, and using that refuse-derived fuel to generate power. The project activity will be processed at the project waste will be processed at Okla to produce the power after segregating and screening the waste. Funding for this project, like I had mentioned earlier, would be done by the overall bidder, the one who won the bid, Jill, and they decided to arrange the funding through a mixture of equity and debt. And with the debt being raised from financial institutions, Axis Bank was selected as the lead consortium bank for the lending towards the project. This was a 25 years concession project. At this point, I would like to call upon my friend Bridget to discuss some of the changes that occurred in this project scope.
Thank you, Lillian. This is Bridget. I'm going to discuss the changes in the project scope. So the Timapur site has been dropped from the project, and the entire waste is now processed at the Okla to increase efficiency. Further, the expected plant of the biomethanation was dropped as the green waste expected in the initial phase is not supplied to the project activity. A separate tender was floated from the same. The PPP shall now be sourcing an additional 100 TPT of the municipal waste for the project activity. Jindal Urban Infrastructure Limited declared its intent to use all the power generated from the project for captive use. In a letter dated 20th October 2008 to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, JUIL stated we intend to use the entire power generated by the SPV for captive power consumption for manufacturing units of our parent company. The challenges faced include protests from the locals and the civil society organizations who raise concerns over the likelihood of the pollution from burning waste becoming an environmental concern. There's also agitation against the project by the informal sector who considered the project as depriving them of their livelihoods. Then another challenge is lack of engineered landfill site for the scientific disposal of refuse and inert material. Then the cost is also a challenge of transporting waste to the plant and the rejected waste to the landfills. There's also uncertain financial realizations from the sale of carbon credits. So those are the challenges. The lessons learned from this project include a good prepared project is critical to ensure project attractiveness and faster financial closure. Clarity on the contractual and regulatory framework reduces the extent of uncertainty faced by the private investors. Then government should establish a single clearance window or an authority to resolve the project issues. Total government support is required in obtaining a buy-in from the general public. Then the public hearings are required as they help address substantial doubts regarding the project. When there is a choice of technology or a method to achieve the said output, the benefits and the losses of adopting the particular method or technology should be thoroughly assessed by the way of cooperative study.
Thank you very much, Lillian. And as we conclude, the Timapu Okra Integrated Municipal Solid Waste Management Project experienced successes in bidding processes of the project. This laid the foundation for other PP projects in municipal solid waste management projects. An increasing number of PP projects in this sector reflect the benefits being derived by the government and the citizens from the participation of the private sector. In recommendation, the success factors of this project can be adopted by countries like Uganda, especially the Kampala Capital City Authority. You remember what happened in Chitezi, where landfills dropped on people and killed many people. So I would like to commend and thank my colleagues, Lydian and Bridget, for the work well done. We are 3 in number, but managed to put this together. I would like to thank you again. Thank you, Doctor, for listening. And this is what we had to present on this particular case study number 5.
Thank you.